And howdy, y'all. We're here.
What's happening?
We're here.
What's happening?
What's happening? Yeah, what's happening? So Yellow Rose got here first, Akaracho second, East Coast, and Tex Hart Strong guy. And who else do we have? And Eat More Possum. Who's Alfalfa? Oh, wait a minute. What am I missing? Eat More Possum, did you get the recipe that I sent you? For Arkansas possum stew? It's got to be delicious. All right, you get yourself sorted yet?
Somewhat. I'm somewhat sorted.
Somewhat sorted.
Yep.
Possum pie. Yep. Was it pie or stew? One or two. Anyhow, so where shall we start? Shall we start with all the leaks? I mean, we got it. DJI needs a diaper.
Boy.
They're leaking all over the place. Let's start with something simple. Action 2 128, or as he called it, Action 2.1.
Which is a nice, well, I guess it basically makes it card free. You don't need a card, basically.
Yeah. Which throws you under the power dilemma. But if you have something like I have right here,
right,
that you can plug a Type-C into, and then you have this little pigtail-y right here that plugs into the balance port on your battery and puts out 5 volts.
You got it. You got power.
You got plenty of power, which leads to overheating issue. But while you're on the quad and in the air and moving, the heat dissipation is not too bad. So it is a solution for some people.
No, it's a freaking great camera for a drone. It's light and it takes amazing. It gives you the 1/1.3 inch, video, so it is a really nice camera.
You don't put a ton of weight on the nose, so that's.
You can get away with flying it with, a couple of different ways. So.
Yep. Well, I can fly this on the front of the 4-inch, and that handles it just fine. So.
Oh.
So that was the one product that we know of for sure. It's there. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a reboot. DJI tends to reboot stuff, and
yep.
When they do reboot it, it's usually really good. Kind of like their SEs and their 2s. They tend to be pretty good. And like I said, they're trying to play the Apple card, where they can just run the same products in different ways, increase their lifespan. But the price goes down, which is good for the user.
Yeah.
Which is what we've been hoping for, is some price breaks on some things.
Well, the 128 was dual screen. It's like $299, and the 128 with the single screen, the power combo, it's like $269, $279. It's ridiculous. No, 249. It's 249 was the power pack. So $50 difference if you have to have the second screen. I don't. I use the old power pack. So
which acts as a heat sink, and that's one of the big things you need the second pack for, is to get some of that heat out.
well, I don't know. This magnetic case that they have for it apparently helps with cooling too. So
Yeah, mine had both magnetic cases, and anytime I took it out of the second module, it got warm. But we're talking hot. I mean, it's not like it's kind of hot. It's 100 plus degrees out, so it doesn't really get a chance to. It already once you turn it on, it's already 100 degrees. I mean, you don't have to. It doesn't start cool. Yeah.
So
Yes.
copper status here. I mentioned that already. So I did get to the post office today and get Bob's and Drone Delirium the stickers and coasters and everything sent off. So,
got the stickers out. Yeah.
Yeah. I threw some extras in laying around. Yellow Rose, Mike and Tex Arts drone guy, Mike. I had a couple of his stickers laying around. Kind of just went through my stash here and threw a couple extras in there. So, and now for shall we call it the elephant in the room?
Which elephant? The elephant I haven't said anything about yet.
This elephant.
Oh, that elephant. Okay, well, let's go there. I'm good with that. I'm gonna leave my freaking tail to the end.
So here is one of the elephants. Well, you call it the elephant. I call it the love child of the goggles 2 and the old racing edition goggles.
It's got an elephant / hippopotamus kind of appeal.
Quality.
To it. Gray and bumpy.
Yeah. So on these, you have this headband that you're wearing around your forehead, and then the goggles swing against your face. And instead of a foam, it's more like a pillow around it.
Right.
So should make it wearing it a lot less uncomfortable than the goggles 2 right now. But again, we got the goofiest battery pack. So you run out of battery, you screwed. Doesn't look like these antennas are interchangeable.
No, they look like the same antennas.
I don't know. I think these are the Integra antennas that were not replaceable.
Okay. I'd have to look and
then obviously right in the front, you have these 2 cameras. Now, from what I understand, from what I've heard, the quality on these camera pictures is apparently total crap.
So you said the word out is that the cameras are not very good.
Yeah.
So they're gimmicky.
The whole thing is a gimmick. Yeah.
Right. And the big thing that I deduced is I looked at where the battery strap connects to the doohickey on the top.
Yeah.
And then of course I noticed the hinge, and I immediately thought welding helmet. And I don't know how that's going to stay tight on your face since the strap does not go along the outside edges
Well,
of the of the of the goggles. So you've got basically a goggle that hangs from your forehead that flips up and down, and that's kind of their
it does not flip up like the old racing goggle did. No, the
I
old
don't
white one that they used to have, the white,
I
and then they had a gray one. The gray one was called the racing edition.
uh
And then the original white goggles, the birth control goggles, they had that huge box
right,
goggle that would flip up.
right.
Yeah. It doesn't flip up completely, apparently. And I don't see where it could because the hinge is too far
Right.
back on that top piece to have any kind of clearance to get it up.
Yeah, it'll flip up to eye level, and that'd be the only reason why they'd flip it. Have to flip, like a brim of a hat,
Well,
maybe.
it don't make any sense. If you're looking for a quad or a drone, you'd be looking up. So you flip something up, and which is going to be right in your line of view. I guess that's why it has the cameras on it.
Yeah, I don't. It's so hard to speculate until you see it getting used.
Yeah.
The air intakes are different. Um,
Well, the question is, and we don't have a picture of the inside the goggles or the backside the goggles, the part you actually looking at and looking through to see
right,
if they've done anything with ventilation in those things.
right. Well, they did. Obviously, they made a bigger air intake. Those air intakes would look. They're definitely different.
Copper State nailed it. So they make it easier to lift off your face. Then they put cameras in it so you don't have to lift it off your goggles. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got that tiny little air intake there,
Yep.
and then it looks like that's more of a radial intake. Like there's above and beyond. There's a top and bottom. It looks like more of a interesting.
Well, these top grills are exhaust port. But
Right,
yeah.
right. But there's definitely more air moving through that. That would make that would be the only reason why they would redesign that piece.
Well, regardless,
Right.
these goggles are not meant for the FPV world.
They don't function the same for sure.
They're not meant for the FPV guys. These are meant solely for the VADA 2. They are 04 technology, so compatibility with Vistas and air units. I put a humongous question mark on that.
Yeah,
Humongous question mark.
they said that they improved the battery. If they'd have just made the battery more like the Integra battery, or I mean the original battery for the pros. And I do like the Integra, strap design. I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to be able to quickly, tighten and loosen, so
Yeah.
you're wearing a hat or
Well, that's
something.
the same. They have the same mechanism on these. You can barely see it in the back, but you can see it. There's a little black
Right.
button back there, that
Right.
little dial.
Right. I figured because they put the battery where they put it, but it doesn't give you scale. So you really can't tell if it's size wise, it's a bigger
Yeah.
battery, but
And you can see in the strap where the power cable runs.
Yep. You sure can.
So that part you can see, and then it'll just go through the hinge down into the goggles. But what I don't see, but not in this angle, you would be able to see it anyhow, is whether or not this thing has a touchpad or whether it has a flat 5-way joystick on it. can barely make it out there. Let's see what the other images look like. Do we see anything on that? No, they didn't. They're not showing it.
Yeah, it's an odd set of goggles. I just it's kind of hard to talk about them because they're just so odd, you know. And you try to think of, you know, what would be good, you know, that they added to that. I mean, the Integras to me were a step up in form and function. They went back to their, you know, they got rid of the touchpad. They, you know, a lot of people didn't like that. I don't like it. I still like the, you know, the regular tactical buttons. They made the screen a little bit more roomy, even though we lost some of the vision. You know, we still didn't get the right fit. There was a lot of good things. I like the integrated battery, but the battery was just a little weak. I mean, it was just so many things that could have been really good if they'd have just put the volume into what it was supposed to do, you know. But they, you know, cut the cost. You know, they dropped the price. But anyway, that's going to be running this.
Yeah, that right there is the sole purpose for those goggles. 3, 2.5, whatever. Goggles 2SE. The goggles 2FU. FU for flip up.
So we got a T-mounted prop. We've got
T-mounted prop. From what I understand, that's a 3-inch prop on that thing.
We got a hurricane like fan prop, which is
the old gem fan props. If these are ordinary 3-inch props, I would actually swap those for five bladed props. I like 5 bladed props on ducted whoops.
Yeah, they do the smooth ducts where it looks like the ducts are functional. There's sensors on the back.
That's the big question. Are those things sensors or are those things screw holes?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're kind of small for sensors, but they could put a sensor in that high. That's, you know, they usually hide their screws, but
well, here's the thing. You got these two right here. You got 2 more on top here.
Right.
And then up here on the side, you see this little protrusion. Is that side sensor, top sensor, rear sensor? Which probably wouldn't be fair to assume there's front sensors and bottom sensor, which would make it 360 obstacle avoidance.
I'm looking at the frame because the top, that it'd be interesting to note if that's a hollow duct.
Well, the battery shoves in from the back. There's the releases. So I'm guessing there's no on the other side. We'll just squeeze the two together and pull it out.
Right.
So the majority of this is going to be battery, except for the very front. That's probably where they have the GPS hidden.
Right. You got to get a GPS in there.
Yeah. The goggle's going to have GPS on them because I just have to have remote ID because it's not sub 250. Which, how long ago did I say these will not be sub 250?
Now, there's no way that's sub 250.
They're a little lighter than the Avata one, but not much. And the ducts are not as bomb-proof as the Avata one, so if you manage to break your ducts on an Avata one, you don't want to even touch this thing. because these ducts are not user replaceable. No way, no how, not happening. Where do I think the SD card goes? Probably from the bottom. Probably in either it's hidden but in the middle from the side, or coming in from the bottom. I don't think the SD card holder is under this battery. I seriously doubt that. Now, the problem is we only have this one angle on it. So,
right. I can imagine we're going to get some other images here.
yeah, I'll check the old X here before we got on, see if there was any new pictures leaked, but I haven't seen any yet. But yeah. And this is for the same people that Auto One was for, you know, the creator that doesn't want to try to figure out how to fly stuff, how to fix stuff. They just want to open it up and fly. Basically, people like you.
Yep. Yep.
I don't care how it works as long as it does.
I want it to fly and I want it to come home.
Yeah. So
I want it to fly and I want it to come home. I want it to be smarter than I are.
So, well,
That's another DJI bird, another center whoop.
another center whoop. So we'll be seeing plenty more fly-throughs.
Yeah, it's a big center whoop. That's the thing. It's just,
That's not that big. It's a 3-inch.
it's not a pusher. You know, that's
Which
the other
I
thing.
think is a miss. I think 3-inch needs to be a pusher.
I'm just very surprised that they didn't do a pusher. It just, but I'm sure that the way they have the frame and the props, and they decided that it wouldn't, you know, that it would give them more space to have the fuselage above, you know, have more things happening at the top. There's definitely a lot of problems with that I'm having with shoving everything on the inside.
Yep.
And you know, this Cinewhoop just makes it so difficult, you know, to design and put stuff, you know, to move stuff around. You know, it has to be completely designed from the top, you know, from the top down, proprietary. You know, when they have such a specialized build, everything is, you know, everything has got to be neat and tidy. But yeah, it's interesting. That's all I gotta say. Interesting, and we'll learn more because, like I said, everything's kind of, you know, just not making a lot of sense with it. It's really weird. It just seems like an odd direction. I figured they'd be a little more sporty. Who knows how it flies, but they went for, I guess
it's gonna be the same flight characteristic as the Water One. Maybe a little bit more spunk on it. They might have put in a bigger motor.
Yeah.
but it's still going to be the overweight flying brick.
And they could have easily lightened it up. And, they just don't really, it's just not a concern. It's not a concern of theirs.
So, which brings us to your experiences today that I haven't even heard about it yet.
So, yeah.
Bring it, brother.
Well, my streak has finally ended. I've had a very long streak. I've had a very long run. It's
Streak of
been
what?
untouched by any drone pilot, and I'd say the fact that I have never lost a quad in my entire flying experience, not a single one until today.
I take
And
it
that
Pablo
one,
25 is out in the desert somewhere.
and there is, I kind of know where it's at, and I did spend a lot of time looking for it. I did make a journey. I did not film it because I was pissed because of what didn't happen. No, it was Mr. Croc is gone.
Mr. Croc is gone.
Mr. Croc made his final flight.
Oh,
Nope.
fuck.
That's what no, the Pavo 25. My stories aren't done. The camera of Pavo 25 doesn't work. So I'm guessing that's a different story. I think the cable when the camera flipped off when it crashed into the street. Remember that was before I left for spring break for my trip. I rushed to flight, which I never usually do, and I lost connection. And I don't even have the video for that. That was another mistake I made today by losing the video for that. So I have no idea what happened with that. But I do have evidence of what happened with Mr. Croc, and it's always user error. It's never the quad. The quad does what you tell it to do. But I put Mr. Croc in a place where he probably could have come back from, but I lost connection and it did not fail safe, which really bugs me because it's fail safe before.
Yeah.
I've already tested the fail safe on it. I know it works. The only thing I can think of is the area that I was flying, we started to get some wind issues. But the wind was pushing it home. So I was like, but what happened is the home point was just off center of the wind. So I had a pretty good driving wind that was north, and I was just a little bit off of the north. I do think it did attempt a fail safe, and I looked around, but I wasn't able to. Now that I'm looking at the film right now or the video, I can show you where I was at. But hear me. I think I'll be able. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mini 2 search or a mini 4 search. Starting maybe tomorrow. We'll see if the weather's good. I'll send the mini 4 out and I'll look in the areas that because I should be able to see it because it's got big ass red props on it.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle. The problem of where it landed, hear me give you an idea. The problem of where it, I'm just share the window. So here I'm out on the golf course. Okay.
Yeah.
I've actually flown quite a bit. So, you know, I started this direction, just kind of going out. Everything was going good. Did a flight out this way, which is pretty challenging. Just checking to see what my, you know, my HD was good. I wasn't getting any signal drop really. And then I decided to go the opposite way. And I did turn my body. So when I flew back over, okay, there I am right there. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to fly. I'm flying into the wind. Okay. The wind is just a little bit to my left. So it's coming off the top of the red mountain up there. So the wind is going from about here. It's kind of pushing it this way.
Okay.
So, and we got OSD, so we should be able to. We'll definitely see. We do lose.
Where did you put link quality?
I don't know where it's at. Let's see.
Can you move that slider thing? Can you move that? I thought I put the link quality right.
Yeah, I think it is in there. I think it's in there. I don't know if I can move that. Oh yeah, nope, it's not there.
Keep going because there were numbers that would pop up under there.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have we are gonna have numbers. There it is, right there. It does pop up. So we're gonna have OSD all the way through this. And my HD, I was looking at my video because my video signal does drop. So I get behind something. You know, there's no question I'm behind something. And
well, you behind yourself unless you turn around.
I did turn around. I did. I turned towards the way the quad was flying. I did. I made sure I did that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to fly back this way. So I got in my truck and I turned that way, but it doesn't mean I'm, you know, my antennas are up. Everything is good. So I'm just going to fly it, you know, out, and I'm going to test it, and I'm going to fail. I want to fail safe it, you know. And this is where I have my problems right here. You can see my HD is dropping a little bit. And I could have gotten interference. So my guess is I was hoping that it would land on the golf course because there's a lot of grass in this area. But what happened was I got over here, and you see this area right in here. I think that's where it decided to fail safe. And if it did, it went up from there. It got in the wind, and the wind pushed it this way. So it might be over here somewhere. I'm thinking it got hung up. I don't remember what I moved the failsafe GPS angle to. I thought I changed it. I increased it, but obviously there's a lot of things that didn't happen. But let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger here. Oops. Nope. Yeah, you can. That's okay. But anyways, this is where you'll start seeing. This is where I'm turning. I'm getting a little blur, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to turn. You see that where I'm getting the signal drop? It didn't give me a lot of time to fix. You see where my HD goes down? Look at that. So I'm getting some, you know, I'm getting some real interference. So but that's not very far from where I was. You know what I'm saying? So if I go back just a little bit,
3,700 feet from where you are.
Right there. So, well, I'm just saying when I get the interference. So right here, I'm pretty good. And then bang, right there. You see how it spikes? You see that big orange spike there?
Yeah.
I could have gotten behind a house, but I'm going straight out. I'm not going that way. Well, anyway, you know, where you think you are and where you are two different things. And this golf course is empty. I mean, I walked a bunch of stuff, I walked to where I thought it would go. I didn't walk here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to this is where
walk there and
well, I know some people there. So I'm going to do is I'm going to go to when the course is active, I'm going to go and talk to one of the employees that I know that knows me, and then have him drive me out there. And then I'm going to see if I can pinpoint it first with the Mini. I'm going to go with the Mini 4 out there, and then I'm going to put the camera down and see if I can get some zoom on that area to see if I can see the red props.
Well,
so I think
you got your latitude and longitude right there.
Yep. Well, we got a location. And it does turn. So this is not, it's not done. We got just a little bit. So it's now in the fail safe and it will start to turn. So here we go. So see how it's turning around? RX loss right there.
Yeah.
So now so it's behind something. So now I lost not only there, it's pointing home. But this is the clubhouse, a little clubhouse, not a clubhouse, it's a little bathroom. But this area here, this is where it turns. Now, I don't know how far it got because there's my battery. I'm at 367, 3.67 volts. So it's got enough to move somewhere. Because I was actually turning around. I was moving. Once I started seeing the signal loss, I usually turn and jet home. And usually going towards the direction I'm turning is usually a pretty good direction. I've never had any problems over that way. But, we're 5 minutes and 50 seconds and I've got the 1800 on with nothing else, no cameras. But yeah, that's where it is. That's my RX loss point, and I don't know what it did at this point. It's right in that little gully right next to that little clubhouse. And I was hoping that it would fail safe. It would try to fly home, and then it would not be able to get home, and it would auto land somewhere, And it probably did auto land. So my guess is
RX loss, it has to have RX loss for a couple of seconds before the return to home kicks in.
right. I reacted kind of slow too because I was like, okay, it's going to recover because usually it has. I should have threw all my crap in my truck and drove the direction of the craft because I might have been able to pick up the signal because I could actually get pretty close. I flew within maybe 1,000 feet of that, or I drove within 1,000 feet of where you're at right now, and I walked the cart pass. But I didn't have Anyway, that's the anatomy of a loss right there. And it pisses me off because
boys and girls, start looking forward to another installment of
yeah,
that randoms.
I'm not, I haven't,
rescue.
It's somewhere on earth. I haven't given up on Mr. Croc. It's given me too many years and I am going to make a valid attempt to look for it. We have an approximate location. If it did land on a fairway, I do believe that the people that are there would know whose quad it would be. So, since it does have my name on it. But if it landed in those lava rocks, guys, I found like 30 golf balls. But I didn't find one Mr. Croc. Most of my search was over here. So so let me show you where I searched. So the direction home, you see this, the direction home is this way across this fairway. So if it did go into return to home here, it should have gone this direction across this area right there. So I walked this area right in there and was not successful. I walked this section here and then I walked back.
No, I would start exactly where our X loss happened.
And then go, this is the way the wind was blowing. It was blowing this way along this area.
Go to where the RX loss happened. I guarantee you that's where he's at.
He's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it right there. That's the spot. So RX loss happened in this area.
Yeah. Right where the RX loss happened. That's where I would start looking.
I just got to get one of my boys over there to give me a ride over to. I don't know what fairway that is. That's the tee right here. But I'm gonna see if I can locate, because I can easily get out there with the Mini 4 and just hover around this area here and just use a down angle camera and just do a little search pattern in this area and just take this area, because red is very bright. The problem is this is very uneven surface. This is a really difficult surface to land anything on. Nothing's going to be upright,
No.
I even looked for smoke. Was there any smoke? I think it landed. I really do. I do think that it landed. It auto landed somewhere and just went, flop sideways. If it did flop sideways, I'm screwed because it'll be hard to see. Because So anyway, that's the that's problem number one that happened. Number two is in the camera ejection, because this is here. Let's move on from this freaking problem here. I can't look at this anymore. It's freaking bugs me. All right, let me see if I can show this thing. I'm thinking that the cable's screwed up. This is a Pavo 25, and it has a very, very tight tolerance to where the cables connect in to the air unit. And if I just think that it got yanked when that camera came out, but the camera's not broke.
Well, have you opened up your air unit to see if the connector get disconnected?
Yes, I did.
On the back of the camera too?
I did not to the back of the camera. I watched a lot about the back. That could have gotten dislodged, right?
Yep.
I know I did not take the camera apart. I think that'll do that next. But everything else is working. Everything was good. But yeah, because when it hits, that little piece is not really it's snapped in. So I'll show you what I got going on here. But yeah, it's not been good, man. It's been one of those freaking days. Here, let me just put this other camera on here really quick. And that's when I knew when I was going to talk to you. Here, let me make this bigger. Yeah, I'm going to zoom in really quick here. Just give me a second here. But yeah, see this, I checked this connector right here. This is and that one's good. That seems okay. But this one here, this was loose when it came out. And I did not check this morning when I sent you. Did I send you a picture?
You sent me one picture of where you try to glue something.
Well, what I did was I put that camera mount in it. I actually added a new camera mount, and then I zip tied it in. And then I added this piece here to protect the top of the camera just in case. I'm going to take that off, but I was trying to be anyway, no, I did not decase the camera connector, so I'll do that just to make sure that didn't pop out, because this was. Let me show you. This is the problem with this specific quad right here. This is what holds the camera on right there. Those skinny. It's. I'm just going to go and I'm just going to tell you right now. This is the worst design quad ever made in the history of America, and I'm going to make sure everybody knows that. It's brittle. You can't get to any of the air unit ever at any time. It's too tight. Everything is too tight tolerant wise. And it's it just, there's too many things that can go wrong. And these are cheap. I mean, this should have been made out of TPU, but they made it this brittle crap. This has been glued. I super glued it. And I don't think that super glue is, I'm just going to leave it for a while and let it set. I did order new ones though. So I've got new side panels coming. They're not expensive. They're cheap. I bought a brand new skirt for it. And then I've got a new, just in case this cable, if there's something wrong with this cable, I bought a new 03 cable. But the camera's fine. I mean, nothing wrong with the camera. But you can see how it's skidded. This is what took the brunt of the hit when it came down. But anyway, I'll take the screws out of here and then decase it and see if that's the problem.
See if you got jarred loose in there.
Yeah, no, I did think about taking it out, but I didn't think that could be the problem. But then I watched a video of a guy putting it together, and I'm like, that when you said that immediately, yeah, that could have snapped out of there, or just one side could have flipped up, without a doubt. So, yeah, I haven't had very much luck, and most of the problems have been ones that I could have solved, or I could have I could have done something about. I was, it wasn't. It's not. I don't claim that everything is the problem. It's a. I rushed this, but I put it together nice. It was great. The build was nice. The build was not hard. It was, just putting the air unit in. So there, let me just turn that camera back off. So, 99% of the time, it's a solvable problem. So I'm trying to keep my wits about me right now because I'm really disappointed. It's been a terrible day. I didn't get to fly this, which is what my goal was. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to fly something. And then I fly Mr. Croc and I crash him. I mean, shit. So,
and Cowboy was a camera. I have the same look. Crashed this thing about 30 issues after that, and the quacks resolved his issue.
Was it? Oh, you did the cable broke on you or snapped?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I did. Yeah, so I do have a cable coming. I bought 3 cables, so I'll have a couple extras.
And I see Dustin here, One Vision. I see Off Axes. I see Jim Stroning. Howdy, fellers.
But
good to see y'all.
Yeah, I apologize for dropping my tale of woe, but this is the Mr. Croc loss is the first time I ever lost something that I could not recover. Now I've crashed before. We know that, but I've recovered everything. And I just knew today I wasn't going to.
You haven't recovered him yet.
I haven't recovered him yet. I could redeem myself. And if I do, believe me, I'm going to do emergency stream that day.
Yeah.
I'm very
you're not the only one with problems. So
there we go. There goes Scott.
I decided to show this guy a little love. I took the Vista out of him and put a walk snail in.
Uh-huh.
And I've got video, but I can't get the OSD to working. I tried 3 different UART ports on the flight controller. I even tried a different flight controller. I always get video. I never get OSD. So I actually got an email in the Power Drone right now about this. And they replied and wanted me to send them some pictures. I sent them some pictures.
Yeah, if you get something messed up and you can't figure it out, there's usually a bigger problem, or there's something actually going on of significance.
Excuse me. And then,
yep,
I got a new flight controller for this thing after the other one tanked on me during ESC flashing. Yeah, I had to redo that. So I got the new flight controller, put it in, try plugging into Betaflight. Betaflight doesn't recognize it. It does not work. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to have to do with that yet.
I think the freaking gremlins crawled into the freaking electronics today.
Yeah. Something crawled into something.
Well, I think with well, the first thing about I can say one good thing about the Pavo 25. When I first flew it, it was flying really good. Very, very fast. Much faster than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit of a, because I wasn't running a 100C battery. I was running a 60C battery at 4S. So I was like,
So it went so fast straight into the garage door.
No. We flew. No, I was standing too far in the garage when I was flying. I had a huge shadow, and I wasn't thinking about it. I usually stand up on my truck when I fly out in front yard, but I took off and I was standing in the side that it got the shadow from. It, same thing. I'm just surprised at how fast it, obviously the failsafe was, it just dropped out of the sky. That was the failsafe. So probably once again, one of my problems.
All right, let's try this again. See if it recognizes it.
Beta Jim. Yeah, I was thinking, Jim, you know what? I was thinking about you when when all this shit was going down. I was like, yeah, Jim's gonna go. Yeah, see, Betaflight, build your own. I told you I was on a one-way journey, so I've got to be successful. I can't let this day, because it wasn't there was failures, but there was failures on many planes. So there's more to the story than just equipment failure. When you crash stuff, it breaks. It's pretty much that's pretty much the moral of the story. Now, if I was flying a DJI bird when that signal loss happened, well, first of all, I might not have even had the signal loss. But it does happen. But you could tell I had a DJI signal loss. That was pretty big spike. There was a big old orange spike. It was big and ugly.
It was big and ugly, huh?
Yep. And the proof is in the video. But she was flying good. Mr. Croc was flying great. She was flying good.
Let's see if I can. I just plugged in the flight controller. Was the boot button pushed on it? And that actually got me some action here. So now I'm just going to reflash Betaflight on it. Beta FPV 4X RX. Okay, 411 RX. All right. See what that does. Well, it's erasing something. So I guess Betaflight is talking to it after all.
Yes, sir. The other thing I know is if you work for DJI, you have to have 20/30 vision. 30/20, which is the good one?
2010.
2010. All right, 2010. You have to have the most amazing eyes there is to work on the small shit that they have.
Ha ha.
Uh-oh. He had an
We
epiphany.
have life.
I got to have you help me with something later too. Well, maybe not.
We have life. Yes.
But so is this going to deter me from my mission? No, it's not going to deter me. I'm too far. I'm too deep right now. So I've still got a bunch of days off here yet, and one of those days off is going to be the recovery mission of the Mr. Croc, because I think the golf course is closed for work right now. They're getting it. They're building stuff out there, and there's no golfers on it. So that's the perfect time to get out there. Go talk to the general manager and say, hey, can you
Anyway, we can
yeah.
do something here.
But yeah, I was a little far out. You guys, you can get me for a lot of mistakes. That is usually where that spot is right there. That's usually my my sweet spot. I like that specific turnaround. I've flown. You've seen me fly that area a million times. I mean, and everything was working great, man. Crap. Mr. Croc was giving me good GPS. I mean, it found the GPS signal came quick. At 14 satellites, that's plenty,
Yeah.
But
What's binging me now? I'm getting binged.
so I think the big question is from this stream is Dad Random going to buy it?
Is that random buying what?
Am I buying the elephant? Am I going to buy the elephant in the room?
We already know how that goes.
Getting the Avata too. I'm really worried about that. I don't like what it looks like at all.
Well,
I know you're giving the yeah, whatever freaking face, but think about all the crap we got to do. We got a 5-inch to build.
all right. How many times have you come in and said, I ain't buying that? I don't like it. It never happened.
You should
3 weeks later,
you should
look
believe
at
me.
what the UPS man dropped off.
You need to believe me this time, because I'm possibly being very accurate.
Well, I now have removed all DJI Air units or Vista units out of my quads, except for one quad and a VTOL.
Kai he's wiping his hands of it. 3 days ago, he was gathering gear, and now he's wiping his hands after I think the crash of Mr. Croc 2 /
I didn't even know about the crash of Mr. Croc yet.
I think you feel it was coming.
Well,
there's no reason why Mr. Croc should have crashed today. Not a single reason. Zero. He was a perfectly healthy bird flying at very high with very high performance.
Actually, if you look at all the review videos that are out there that do any kind of meaningful measuring of signal strength and whatever, you'll find out real quick, like Vistas and air units are meant to be flown with V1 or V2 goggles.
Right.
That's where they perform the best. Air 3, O3 units are supposed to be flown with goggles too.
Yep.
The Vadas be flown with the goggles too. The Potato is still a V2 bird.
Right.
Yeah, they made it possible to interchange, but
they're not supposed to.
It can be made work, but the thing is, any of the Vistas or original air units have left-hand circular polarized antenna on. The antennas in the goggles too are linear. There's two sets of antennas, one under the nose, one over the eyes. The one over the eyes, the ears or whatever,
right?
Yes, you can replace those with circular antennas and make up for some of that loss. But still,
well, what do you know?
What do you know? What?
Well, what do you know? What did I just find when I opened up the freaking camera?
The connector's loose.
The connector is freaking cockeyed.
Yeah.
Here, let me give you a picture of that.
Yeah, let's see a picture of that.
I'm going to show you this right now. I'm going to.
Damn it! Even when I'm right again.
God, I hope that's the problem. I'd rather have 5 extra cables. Here, let me see if I can get close. Let's put that right there. You look inside. See how that's crooked?
Yep.
There
that
she
don't
be.
Look great. That don't look so good.
That is, guys. There's no question that is the problem.
Yeah, it's completely out of focus, but you can see how crooked it is. Yep. Yep.
I didn't move it. That's exactly how it came out.
Yep. So fix that, and hopefully your camera comes back to life.
Damn! If I could freaking fly that tomorrow, that would
saved you $109.
Yeah. 200. Well, new camera.
New camera is $109.
New camera with cable. Yeah.
So anyway, if anybody's looking for some goggle too. Oh, hold on. Coast to Coast Drones is having hernia surgery on Thursday. So everybody keep Bill Thomas, Coast to Coast Drones, aka either or. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers or whatever it is you do. Send him good vibes. Bill, all the best to you.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, no, go get your hernia fixed. So, yeah, and keep us updated. Post some on Facebook or something where that you still amongst the living. So, yeah, best, all the best to you there, Bill. Hernias are not fun. Get out of that camera with those sharp ass tweezers.
I think we got a. I still think it could be the cable. See how that's crooked?
Yeah, but there's also, don't they have a sticker on top of it to hold it in place against the case?
Yeah, that's right now. That's this thing right here.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's still pushed down in there. Yep, it's not fixed yet. We're still possibly looking at a cable. But yeah, that sticker is crooked, but that's
well, I would unplug that and plug it back in. Just
right, and then power it up. But that silver piece there is a sticker, you're saying, huh?
Yeah, sometimes they just have a little sticker on there, some soft to hold it in place to
Right.
keep it from drawing loose.
All right. Hmm. All right. All right. Why is that freaking camera? Come on here. There we go. I can adjust the
The focus.
focus. Yeah, it's just zoomed in right now. It needs to focus.
There you go.
It looks like the pin is still in there.
Well, it looks like on the right-hand side, it might have pulled out a little bit.
Right. No, there's something definitely cockeyed about it.
Yeah.
So, like you're saying, needs to be disconnected and reconnected, and then
Yeah, I would unplug that plug and plug it back in because something doesn't look right there.
yeah, but that sticker, like you're saying,
That's a
it's
little
definitely
misleading.
been tweaked, you know. So, all right, we'll we'll do that as soon as I get full concentration mode.
Yep.
It's a good little camera, that C30. Not bad. Yeah, you can zoom way the hell in. Right there. There you go. I can focus it right there. But
there is a little something else I was wanting to talk about.
all right, what's that? What did that be?
That is a new camera that, and actually HD0 apparently is doing the same thing. So Cadex came out with this camera.
Oh yeah, the night camera.
The infra camera. And apparently it can work with either analog or the Walkman system.
Wow.
Because let me bring this on the screen here. And that's not what I want to do. Where's the there we go. And here we go. So
The infra.
there's the Cadex FPV infra camera. It's on pre-order. It's $130 for this thing. So you got your camera and you've got a little box. And you get 6x9 for 120 degree field of view, yada yada. Here you come to the dimensions of the box. Now, this is not a VTX, that box. That is just the processor to go with that camera. And then you've got all these different connections here. And here's one, power, ground, CVBS. And I believe with those three, you can hook that into your analog into your flight controller and then shoot it out over an analog VTX to your goggles, or you have this little digital connection down here. And this is kind of funny because when I originally put that pic out, it said digit mall. Now they just have digital. So I'm guessing this, you can run a ribbon cable from here into your Walksnail VTX and get the HD feed to your goggles. So yeah, it's the thing is they released it.
Yeah, CVBS
But
analog.
it wasn't sent to any other reviewers. I'm beginning to think this was not meant to be released yet, and somebody just released it, and oops.
Super wide. '60 frames. Can take 6S. It's only for the big birds. And it outputs PAL, which is analog, right?
But you get the CVBS analog interface. So that would be your analog input on your flight controller. And then you go to an analog VTX from your flight controller. And then you get the HD interface, MIPI, CSI, whatever that says there, Walksnail Avatar. So I'm guessing it comes with a MIPI cable to where you can hook it and you just plant your VTX on top of this. For night vision bird.
Yeah, it just has to have that extra board, that extra processor, yeah. Which would make sense. It's going to have, it's got a lot more going on. That thing pretty much turns the night into day. I mean, the images are just like that. Yeah.
So this should be interesting to see what this actually turns out to be. And this is, I mean, using analog for HD apparently is not a Walksnail thing alone anymore, because HD0 just come out was an analog HD camera. The little Eco thing. Let me see if we can find that here. Yeah. HD0, there we go. Products. I don't even have it in there. There it is. So you got this little camera. They don't have a MIPI cable on it. And it's hooked. It's an analog camera hooked into an HD0 transmitter. And it'll transmit digital. So somehow they're converting the analog camera signal into a digital. And that made the price point on this thing very attractive, because this thing is $70. So for a little whoop, this is a great little unit. So 14 mil wide, 16 tall, 13 deep, super lightweight. One to 3S input. So this is interesting. This is definitely an interesting little product. So Nick Burns reviewed Happy Model Quad with that thing built into it. Whereas, do I have Happy Model in my? Yeah, I thought I did. A Modular 6. Where are you? How about this one right here? There we go. So 23 grams plus the battery. And if that's something you're interested in, go to Nick Burns' channel. He did a review on that thing, and he ran that through his house. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, he challenges his birds.
Yeah.
There is no doubt.
So I just thought it was an interesting little development, starting to use analog cameras. And obviously that's going to bring down the cost, which if DJI is going to 04, I don't even want to know what an 04 air unit is going to cost. You know?
Yeah, what did the first one, 100, 250? Trying to think of what it was when it first came out.
The first air units, I thought they were like 190 or something like that. 190, 199, 189, 199, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I'm talking about the 03s when they came out. They were two something. They were pretty expensive.
They're 229. They've been 229.
Oh, so I thought they were more. I thought they were a bit more.
If y'all can hit that thumbs up, please.
Yeah,
we're
in. It's one of those. This is
Maximus here. Oh, it's time to go.
We would
just noticed the time.
We've been in deep thought today. A lot. Today's been a deep thought and a lot of reflection.
Chuck, are you a buyer on that new Avata?
I got to see more. Got to see a lot more. I've got to see a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
And if you take right now, there's DJI is in such a, you've got two really high performance drones right now. If you want to fly low and slow, or you can still fly the Avata. Yet that spot where I've got the the crash occurred today, I've had the Avata out there easy, no problem.
Yeah.
Fucking just buzz. I've buzzed that entire golf course with the Avata, obviously, but we're using the full 03 system. Okay. We've got the goggles, 2 pros, and we've got the Avata all working together.
Yeah.
I've taken Kai 2 out there. Kai 2's freaking buzzed that, no problem. And that was with Kai 2. I wasn't flying with the 03. I was flying with the X-Lite. Because we've always had that ELRS. So it's,
the 03 video link.
Right.
Okay. And ELRS control link.
Right. Like you're saying, it wasn't the Vista. It wasn't the old air unit, which is what I was flying
with.
The
03 air unit used linear antennas in it too.
Right. Right. So
the
it's
linear antennas was the linear antennas of the goggles too.
Yeah.
Worked just fine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you get, that's why when you take this bird out there, you won't see that. It'll behave differently. It'll give you more time to do what you got to do. Because this sucker's been out there easy, not even a problem. This has carried a camera out there.
Yeah.
Just different. It's a full on O3 system,
The new Avata is 04.
Right. So we've got a new system. It's not going to be backwards compatible. And if it is, I'm not flying. I'm not flying those. What I should have is O2 goggles, the V2 goggles, or the goggles 2 V2. What the hell are they? Yeah, goggles 2 V2. Now that would have the right antennas to fly with the Vista out there. That would have been.
We got us a new feller, Howie FPV. I just smurfed him. So
I hope that he hopes the Avata. No, the Avata is going to come with the freaking shit stick 3, and that's
the
what
Avata 2 will come with the shit stick, and if you want to spend extra money, you can buy the gray controller.
You think it'll work with the gray controller?
I'm thinking there might be an update to the gray controller at some point.
They'll call it the GC2 or GC3.
We'll call it the G string.
The G string. Oh my Lord. They've got such an identity crisis with the. I mean, just call it Just call it the Apple One, the iPhone 1, iPhone 2. Just keep the numbers.
I'm with you on that one, Michael. I believe there's no more O3.
Yeah, O3 is done.
I think the O3 is dead because of a chip shortage, and that's why they had to go to the O4.
Right, and that's what Mads Tech was talking about, and he usually has it pretty much nailed.
Yeah, he knows people too.
Yeah, he's never said something that was totally off base. Not a lot of, especially when he's speculating.
So we've got everything going forward is going to be 04. There's going to be an 04 air unit at some point, but I don't even want to see the price tag on that.
Yep.
But there's something else that you don't even know about yet.
Oh boy.
I got a text message from my brother over the weekend.
Oh boy.
Hold on.
Let's see this. Let's listen to this little bit of news.
I don't know. This is good. This is good shit.
I was going to do a quick test of the emergency broadcast system here.
This is my nephew.
Ah, okay. He's holding himself a Mini 2 there.
Mini 2 SE. He went and got himself the Mini 2 SE Fly More combo.
That's a great little drone right there.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
Yeah, there's no if you wanted to, you could fly out and find Mr. Croc right now with that thing.
Yep.
It has a zoom too. You do have a 4 times or 5 times zoom digital that you can zoom in.
A 4x digital zoom on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was very pleased to hear that he went ahead and
made a valid choice of good.
Made a good choice there.
Yeah.
It was kind of on the Mini 2 for the higher camera resolution, but he's like, I really don't need the higher camera resolution. So he went with the Mini 2 SE. Oh, here goes nothing.
I'm just doing a test here real quickly.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test.
Yeah, we got to get the 03 on here. All right. Let's see if
But,
switch successfully. No, we got a black screen. I think it's cable.
yeah.
I think we
Do
got.
you hold on? Do you have a black screen or do you get OSD?
I got OSD black screen.
Then it's the cable.
Yeah. Okay. That was my original guess.
Yeah.
Well, we can do that.
Best case scenario, it's the cable. Worst case scenario, it's the camera.
There's always a positive there. We got a cable coming. I'll have a cable.
Try the cable. Definitely try the cable.
Yeah, we got a cable coming in a day or two.
Well, if you have OSD, that means the air unit is alive.
Yeah, no, we got OSD. We got a connected air unit. I did a reconnect, and so, and that was, usually when you get somebody on a stream and somebody says, "Hey, I've had that problem," you're gonna need an coaxial cable, and that's usually the reason or the solution. Very few times do you have a problem that other people have not had, especially in this game.
Yeah.
So this game is a predictable game, and I just gotta get better at my decisions. I guess got to make more wise decisions.
Well,
and I do believe your comment about keeping your antennas compatible with the device. And then, like you're saying, if you do cross connect, you need to keep it in close. This is not a flight that I should have made with that mixed connection.
I think you got something else working against you, and that's the position of the ELRS camera, because we have it horizontal on there. I think that thing needs to go vertical.
Vertical, yeah.
Because if you're out like that, okay,
right,
and
you got a thin. I see what you're saying. You got
here's your antenna, okay,
right.
And as you turn, was this antenna pointing at you?
RX loss.
That's where your RX loss happens,
and that's where your spectrum.
Once you're back here, you have it again. But that one moment that you turn it, that antenna pointing at you, you at the null.
Here, let's. Will you put the screen back on? I want you to see this because it basically proves your point. This image right here is exactly what you just said. The antenna is pointing sideways at me, and it is now in a RX loss situation. It's now pointing. It's basically, I've got an antenna that's going this direction right at me.
Yep.
And that's the point where the RX loss happens. And if you look,
I changed the location of the antenna on this.
See, no RX loss, no RX loss. It's turning, bang. Now it's sideways. It's got angle here. This is where if I could have snap turned it, I probably would have been okay.
Well,
so now I don't, right there, bang, same thing, same. Like you're saying, if I have it vertical,
you won't have that problem.
Yeah.
The only time you get the null if it's straight above you. And if it's straight above you, it's close enough to where it don't matter.
And like you're saying, that null, that hole gets huge as the further you go out.
Yep.
Science.
And this is something that I have warned you about too.
Yeah, you did. It's not, I've heard it. Now we have, this is complete validation of that idea. And that's why people will they'll run two antennas and they'll crisscross them. They'll have one going this direction and one going this direction.
Yep.
I've seen that on there
but if you're going to run those, if you're going to run those receivers, get the true diversity, because ELRS has some receivers.
Or keep
Or
it
there are
close.
let me rephrase that. There are some manufacturers that make ELRS receivers with 2 antennas on them, but it's just 2 antennas on 1 receiver. There are true diversity receivers out there that actually have full 2 receivers on it.
Right.
And then you get 2 antennas. And that, that might be something we need to look at for Mr. Croc.
Well, we recover him, and if he's sitting in that hole
You will find him tomorrow. Your lipo's gonna be shit.
Yeah, the lipo. Hey, you know what? I resurrected the 1300.
Oh yeah.
I hooked up another battery to the the board, and I put it into
Balance.
into balance mode, and it came back to life. So if I do fly that, I'll fly it close by.
Yeah.
But yeah, it came back to life. It's now in a stable state. So
Yeah. We need.
but we'll do some
You'll find Mr. Croc tomorrow.
No, Mr. Croc is right on the bottom of where this.
Take Steve for a walk. He'll enjoy that. Oh, they won't let Steve on a golf course, will they?
Well, they're like I said, they're it's in the middle of construction right now, so there's no golf probably going on for another couple of weeks. Looks like they're putting in a. They've got a lot of heavy equipment there, from what I'm seeing. So they're probably.
I'm going to have golf here in front of my house live. The Valero Texas Open. They're already out there practicing.
Yeah,
I can see him off of my balcony.
If I find Mr. Croc's location, if I see his little red blip on the ground, I'll go bug the course guy tomorrow and see if he'll bring me out to the location. I'll take a still shot of it
Well, take your phone. Write down those coordinates. Get out your phone, pull up the coordinates, and walk right to those coordinates.
Oh, ping it, yeah. Yep.
You can walk right to those coordinates. And then you have the starting point. And I bet you he's not too far from there.
No, he's probably right in that.
Yeah, punch those coordinates in your phone on your Google Maps. You'll walk right to it. He'll spend the night out in the desert having to think about his missed deed today. And then he'll be home tomorrow, and then you can fix him up and everything be good again. So
I'm sending that.
Well, brother, we're like in overtime. You haven't got your dinner bell yet?
No, not today. We're on our own today.
You on your own today?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Yep, we are in a different let's see here.
Some you want to share or what?
No, we're good. No, we're good. Nothing. I already shared enough today.
So
I already got enough freaking. I already bore enough of my freaking failures in one day to. I did learn a very valuable lesson, though. I just hope it doesn't cost me a lot more than it already has cost me. But like I said, I'd be with about another. I'd be with a ton of other people that will now say that just because you have GPS rescue doesn't mean you have a DJI drone. And then we say that.
I wonder where you heard that before.
It does not guarantee, especially in a day that there's a lot of. I would love to see what my beta flight is set up like. That's another thing I would learn from being able to recover it, just to see my angle, because I should have. It should be like 60 degrees. If it was in 60 degrees, it would have went and it would powered. It would have powered almost back to the. If it could have got back to the empty lot, but it's it got hung up in the wind, and we had some wind blowing, and it drifted instead of powering the direction it needed to go. So
Building FPV is a rich man's hobby. Anything is a rich man's hobby anymore.
it's not, yeah. Well, unless you're if you're just flying analog, you're not. You can still do that with a very, very reasonable budget. Once you buy your goggles and you start building your own, I can imagine you're
Have you seen the new goggles that SkyZone came out with?
oh, the freaking analog goggles are you're pricey. They're not cheap. I wouldn't say you're too far away from a rich man hobby. It's a person with a lot of extra time on their hands. And instead of buying color TVs, you buy drone parts. If you think about all the garbage you spend your money on, and you just stopped buying that trash and you bought the stuff that you liked, yeah, once digital and yeah,
There's the SkyZone 4X Pro. And that thing actually has OLED screens in it.
1920 by
1080, 1080.
Adjustable focus and for diopter.
HDMI in, hat tracker in. 52-degree field of view. IPD of 58 to 71. As far as I'm concerned, I ought to mind on the price.
Yeah, $500 for.
Yeah, well, that's the offer right now. They say $599.
600. Yeah, they don't change the price of those. You just keep rebuying they change the a couple of inputs but there's people that. What about Fat Sharks? What have they done recently?
Fat Sharks is still sitting on the HD2. There's a new flavor of the HD2s out. Let's see. Of course, they still market the hell out the Dominators.
Yeah.
And
Recon.
HD, which is Walksnail compatible. And then the HDO2s.
Are those 1080?
Nope. They can handle 1080 on the HDMI in.
So those are basically like the V2s of the DJI V2s. They're 960s or
yeah.
I think wasn't the V2 like
1280 by 960.
Yeah, that's a little bit better than the V2s. I think the V2s were like 8 something, right? It has a few more pixels in size.
Yeah, but don't matter because all you get in is 720 anyway.
Yeah. Right. It's either 1080 or 720.
Yeah.
It's just blowing it up, making it weird shape. Well, at least I feel more calm about what happened because I was when I started the stream, I had just taken a long walk.
Yeah.
And I do have some optimism about finding Mr. Croc. So
Yeah. Well, now that you have some coordinates,
I've got
go out there tomorrow and reclaim Mr. Croc, and everything be good.
does the Mini put coordinates up? I'm trying to think. Does the Mini have GPS
No.
coordinate? No. I'd have to mark it on the. I'd have to use the map. Yeah, I can use the. Actually, I can use a map after I fly. I can go to my post-flight map and actually, I could actually identify exactly where it's at from my post-flight map. So it's like search and recovery, man. And I have another place I can fly from.
I wouldn't even bother with the Mini. I would go. I actually physically would go to those coordinates
Yeah,
where it
just
lost
walk to it.
contact.
Just walk to it.
Walk to that, and then from there get the Mini 4 and start a circle around you.
What I need to do is get Gary Drayden, and
No, you take your Mini 4 and you just start circling around you. Low altitude, just circle that thing around you. Look for Mr. Croc.
I'll find him. I'm going to find him.
That's what I would do.
I can get really close to the location, so I'm. There's a new road that they just put in that's all paved that goes damn near to the. It's blocked off. It's under construction, but if somebody comes to me, I'll just talk to them. Say, hey guys, do you ever lose something that's really important? I'm not looking for golf balls. Yeah, there'll be houses out there. They're laying out the land for houses. So and they got a dead end street, so it's nice. I'm right where I need to be for search.
Yeah, no, go get as close to those coordinates as you can, and then walk to it. I would stand right in the spot that's on the
right.
on
That's showing up on my.
That's right there on that last screen of yours. This one right here. Those two coordinates.
Yep. Oh, I got that.
37.1583 and 113.6524. Because that camera at that height can be way misleading to its actual location too. Because
Right.
you're looking away in
Right.
quite an angle. You're not just looking away, you're also looking up. So you might be right on that fairway.
Well, I did just cross the fairway, and it could have blown towards the fairway. I'm hoping it did. I'm actually hoping it didn't hit the fairway unless somebody. I'm looking at the location right now, actually. But
All right, brother.
all right. Yep. I know.
It is time for us to get the hell out of here. We've been on almost 2 hours now. It is time to call it a day.
Yep, I agree. So, all right. Oh man.
You know what you need to do tomorrow?
I totally know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Search and rescue.
You'll find them. We're all sending you some positive vibes that you'll find them tomorrow. There we go. Home. Home.
Well, night all. That's what Jim's saying. Walk
Yep.
right to it.
Yeah. Y'all, thank y'all for hanging out with us. Today was not as peachy of a day as we usually have, but hey, that happens. Michael, you have a good night. And we'll see y'all next week, same time, same place. Any more words of wisdom from the peanut gallery?
Nope. Nothing
Nope.
nothing that we haven't already heard during this stream.
So next week we'll celebrate the return of either Mr. Croc or the Pablo 25 or
Is
both.
in the air. Either of those positive news from the news front would be better than today. So, and no, we're not going to send out the Kai 2 to look for him. With HD camera, I thought about it.
Don't you have a set of golf clips?
Yeah. So like I said, the course is closed for construction.
Well,
I'll walk out there with some golf clubs.
Just bring one golf club with you, just for camouflage.
Camouflage.
Ain't nobody gonna say anything about a guy walking around aimlessly on a golf course that's carrying a golf club. Okay,
looking for a ball, man. I'm looking for my favorite
there
ball.
You go. There you go.
It's gold plated.
Yeah.
It was given to me by my brother-in-law, who've since passed away. All right. Have a good one. Have a good week. And
y'all take care, and we'll see y'all next week. And Uncle Bill's, howdy feller, but we're on the way out. Sorry.
Uncle Bill's Toys. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.